James Gunn just might be in big trouble with Warner Brothers, and it has to do with the WBD perhaps being purchased by Skydance, Paramount, CBS. What's next for James Gunn? Will he be fired after Superman failed to make a profit and Peacemaker has stuck him deep into controversy? We'll tell you, including whether or not the Ellisons are ready to cut ties with James Gunn if they buy Warner Brothers. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure, as always. Welcome back. Keeping you ahead of the culture curve is what we do, and we love doing it. We've got a track record of excellence, and we continue to forge forward, bringing you the truth with a capital T. Today, we're talking about James Gunn, and he's been letting people down. Now he may be let go if the Ellisons continue their buying spree and pick up the house that Looney Tunes built. Folks, let's dive in. Click the like button and tell us in the comments below, what did you think of Superman and Peacemaker? Are you A-okay with James Gunn, or are you A-okay with him being done? Forbes claims James Gunn's Superman lost money in theatrical run. Report alleges DCU premiere $42 million short of profitability. This is by Marvin Montanaro covering the Forbes report. It says, after months of speculation about the financial outcome of James Gunn's Superman, a new report from Forbes has made the situation plain. The film reportedly did not recover its cost during its theatrical run. While writer Tim Lammers stopped short of using the word flop, his own math makes it clear that Superman lost money in theaters, and Warner Brothers is now depending on digital and streaming sales to fill in that gap. Now, I know some of you out there listening right now are going to argue with this, and listen, we don't have to. You just have to know that the very fact that we're debating whether or not it lost money means that it lost in the PR game, because this was supposed to be, well, it's Superman, darn it, and Superman is supposed to make a lot of money. According to Forbes, Superman closed its domestic run on October 2nd after 84 days in theaters. The film earned $354.2 million domestically and another $261 internationally, which means that the internationals is where this thing lost. If it had matched internationally what it did domestically, as superhero films often do, should have absolutely blown the doors off the bank, and they would have been very happy. The worldwide total comes in at $615.8. Sounds impressive until you factor in the cost. We're not going to go into that. I'll just say that we thought that from a PR standpoint, it needed to hit 700. Now, there's way more to this, and I've been consistent, by the way, on that 700. Really, 700. They likely, when they went into making this thing, thought it was going to break $1 billion. Did not. But there's something more to this, folks, that we need to show you, and we're happy to do so. If we go to Deadline right now, from Anthony D'Alessandro, Dominic Patton, and Jill Goldsmith, David Ellison's Warner Brothers bid takes shape. No clear role for Zaslav. Now, listen, we don't need to talk about whether or not Zaslav is going to have a spot at Warner Brothers if the Ellisons buy it up. And if they buy Warner Brothers, good Lord, this is now Skydance, Paramount, CBS, Warner Brothers. Jonas, any others in that cacophony that we just listed out?
Discovery. Don't forget about
Discovery. So, but they're getting ready. They want to buy Warner Brothers, and they've got the money to do it. So we'll see what happens there. But here's what I want to bring to the table for everybody. If the Ellisons buy Warner Brothers, James Gunn has, I think, done just a terrible job with Peacemaker, right? Superman was a stumble. It's not that it's terrible, it's recoverable. But Peacemaker Season 2, taking what is essentially a young person's franchise, where you need Superman and Batman on backpacks, and you need it on lunchboxes and action figures and all that, and you make Peacemaker Season 2 be a hard R-rated thing that then also talks about Yahtzees, and then compares our modern world to Yahtzees, and then connects Christianity to that. Like, I don't know what James Gunn thought he was doing with DC, but I got a feeling the Ellisons are not going to be into that. Panel, let's go to you and just talk about this. Joe Rossi, we start with you. What do you think happens to James Gunn if the Ellisons come in and say, no, this is not what we're doing with a superhero franchise?
Well, yeah, anytime you have an acquisition or someone kind of taking over, investing money, you're not going to want to lose money. In fact, when you make an investment, you're going to want return on your, investment. You want gains coming back. So if they're going to look at that, money is king. And they are going to have the hard numbers, and they're going to say, we're not going to do a repeat of this. So I think James Gunn is in a lot of trouble. I think the entire new DCU that's planned is going to get a hard look because it's just not sustainable in business world to say, we're just going to keep doing this and cross our fingers, because clearly something is not going well. And also, I think at this point, I think politics should stay out of entertainment, because this has clearly become an issue. Anytime that they are doing anything political, views suffer.
Well, I don't think there's anything more woke, perhaps, than calling the majority religion in a country in which that's where you're streaming. The majority religion in the country, Yahtzees or Yahtzee friendly. And James Gunn pulled that off with Peacemaker and then said, if you don't like that, you're a racist. So I don't know if this man suddenly had, every form of failure injected in his veins for 24 hours. But if you gave me a playbook for how do you destroy something, he went there. He went there, Nat. And now he might have new bosses who say, no, we're not going to do that anymore. That you're done for, buddy. Go back and go make Guardians 4. Marvel needs you.
And exactly, speaking of Marvel right now, and he's had the opportunity to do the complete opposite of what we've seen doesn't work, and yet he has decided not to and go the complete same way. And I think if they do come in and if they do look at what's going on, it already seems like with Paramount Plus and everything else they've started acquiring and trying to consolidate, they do understand a little bit at least what's going on in the culture and the changing and what people and the globe, like just regular sentiment, at least in the US. So I think it might be good, but they also, he needs a kind of like a talking to. So he realizes that going the way that Marvel failed is not going to make you successful, because we can see what's happened just since they started doing that about 10, 15 years ago.
I haven't actually watched a lot of this show myself, but I've been following the coverage from Marvin Montanaro over there on That Park Place. Everybody should be going and checking out his articles. There's just so much unavoidable grandstanding and virtue signaling that goes into these shows. It's so disappointing to have something that it seems like James Gunn is accepting that he has to do a Superman movie, but it seems like his heart is in it for Peacemaker, and I haven't watched Creature Commandos, but he did a little bit of that. I'm a little worried about Mr. Miracle, and which is from a writer that is it's Tom King, who's kind of famously, well, let's just say controversial. I'm just simplify that there. I wonder if he has any oversight over him whatsoever that is saying, yes, please go ahead and defame the entire country right now. There's this argument, they say, oh, well, you don't want to be called that. Therefore, when we insult those people that you don't want to be called, you're tacitly saying you are that. It's just this entire thing where they're taking something that should be clear cut. There should be a Superman movie. It should be something that is safe enough to take a 10-year-old boy to, and they should feel free to dive deep into the lore of that world without parents going, I need to watch out for all this. But instead, we get Peacemaker Season 2, which is supposed to be the essential prequel to the next Superman movie, which won't be called Superman. Apparently, it would be called Man of Tomorrow. That has all of these things that I don't even know if I can mention all of them on YouTube without reclassifying this video. There are instances where there's a bunch of dudes that aren't wearing any clothes, having a little bit too adventurous of a time together. And by the way, the main character of the show, who's probably going to be in Superman 2, Man of Tomorrow, whatever they call that movie, he's in there too, and he's sniffing up the nose candy, is what I hear. That's just like episode 1. So I really don't understand why anyone would want to buy DC Studios at this point and keep James Gunn in place and not have oversight on top of him.
It's really sad, Jonas. It's actually kind of sad because Guardians 1 and 2, I think, are great movies. Like, I really, really like them. And I was hoping that James Gunn would get things right. But he has went back to the kind of guy that was saying things online that got him canceled from Disney, and Chris Pratt had to come in and save the day. And he's repaid Chris Pratt by saying things that I think are depraved. And that's where we are. I wish that James Gunn could save himself and mature. But as of right now, he's really good at doing underdog movies. He's really bad at doing the right thing in just about every other way. And I hate to say it, because we needed DC to be a counter to Marvel. Imagine if DC had done what it should do and given us traditional storytelling and heroes that we could espouse to be. And if it was bright and colorful and fun and epic and heroic, if DC had done that, if James Gunn had done that with Superman, then we would be sitting here right now saying, ha, Marvel, look what the market will do if you just go back to good movies. And instead, maybe James Gunn was part of the Phase 4 and Phase 5 decline. Maybe he was advising Kevin Feige when they were planning all this out. I don't know, but I'm starting to wonder about that. Panel, any other thoughts on it?
I think it's a little bit unrealistic knowing how James Gunn is to expect James Gunn to do anything but James Gunn, if that makes any sense. He's just so, I don't want to say the word narcissistic, but he's just very focused on who he is and what he does and his style and making sure that it's James Gunn's Superman, and just you can't expect him to do just a straight up storytelling. He has to, self-insert himself, and that's just what we're I don't think he's capable of change unless he's very much given a severe talking to. But I'm of the mindset that that's what he can do, and that's it.
Right. James Gunn is the kind of guy who gets assigned to play quarterback in backyard football and throws the thing like a baseball because he says, "Oh no, this is how I do it. This is how I do it." Nat, your thoughts?
But again, there is this great opportunity for whoever else wants to come in and actually use the DC properties to show the world what it could be like and improvement. But until then, and if that ever happens, I think letting him do whatever he wants, he's just going to take it down to where we already know it's going to go anyways.
Well, that's where we are, folks, and we are paying very close attention to this possible buyout, purchase, however you want to say it, Warner Brothers being taken into Skydance, Paramount, CBS, and Discovery too. We'll see how that plays out, but James Gunn should pay very close attention to whether or not he's done if that happens. And chances are, it just may. The Hollyweirds don't understand how it is we do what we do, bringing you video after video every single day of the utmost highest excellence and quality. But folks, we do it because of you. We appreciate you. You are seen and heard here on the Pro Channel. Make your voices heard, folks, by doing one last thing before we say goodbye for a short time. Consider clicking the like button. Share, subscribe, and you know what? That notification bell, click it and stick it to the algorithms. Also, drop a comment down below and let us know your thoughts. And don't forget, folks, we've got even more content on the way. If you'd like to become a member, it's just the price of a soda per month, and you'll gain access to all kinds of exclusive content beyond what the public sees, including archival footage of the Pro Show that goes away after just a few days from its public release. Folks, we hope we get the honor of spending time with you again soon, and until then, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Jump into the water!
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro Channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun.
Want it all, so I give them cannonball. Yeah!
Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio. What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.